So we had a plan to go to South Africa to support a couple of shows that our distributor Vermont Sales were doing. We've been there several times before to support various events with their dealerships, and what we wanted to do was to mix this up a little bit and to meet more of the people who actually do the woodworking with our tools. So we started in Johannesburg, flew into there, and we had a meeting on the first evening at the hardware centre in Johannesburg with members of the Triton Owners Club, and that was really cool because we got to meet people who are really enthusiasts for our products, and particularly for the work centre, and everybody has an opinion on that. And one of the things we did there was to take the new work centre and show it to these people who have been working with our product for years and just get their feedback, really, which was great, solid feedback. Lots of questions. Everybody's got something that they want to know about the product that they're doing on their own work centre now, and want to know where we've gone with it, what's new and what's going to be developed from that. We brought back some terrific product ideas from that. Our trip then moved on to Cape Town for the Hobby X exhibition, huge exhibition hall right in the middle of the city, and we were there for a few days at Hobby X showing people the Triton products and getting used to the South African market, really, get some feedback from end users, understanding what's important to woodworkers there. But it was a great chance for us to get used to staying in the city for a few days before we started going out and exploring.
By far the best day. We went to Patrick Burnett's workshop and filmed him building his handcrafted hollow wood surfboards. I need to go back out there and do the course because I want to bring back one myself, but I had all the camera equipment so I couldn't do it this time.
It's an amazing place on an old farmstead. You can hear on the video we made, you can hear the goats bleating in the background. But it was a beautiful sunny day, fabulous weather, amazing location, and Patrick was a real gent and a real enthusiast and passionate about his product and how it's made, and the culture of surfing, which was, for me, was quite new. I'm not familiar with surfing at all. We
travelled up to Table Mountain the afternoon that we filmed Patrick to get some shots of Cape Town from above. It is stunning up there. You can see the stadium, you can see the whole of the city, you can see the docks. Really fortunate to be able to go and see these sort of sites and work in these locations.
While we were in Cape Town, we had a chance to look around the city. We got a bit of sightseeing, spent some time driving around the coast. The scenery is absolutely spectacular on that part of the Cape.
The next day we travelled up to Knysna. We drove along the garden route. It's definitely a filmmaker's dream. There's ostriches running around, parrots in the trees. We travelled
across the Southern Cape along what's known as the garden route, which is a beautiful route through mountains and some forest areas and some coastal areas. We had several attempts on the way on our route to try and stop and see whales at various harbours and points. That didn't happen, but it was a beautiful trip. We went to the southernmost point in South Africa, Cape Agulhas, the foot of Africa, and that was quite amazing to sit there where the Atlantic meets the Indian Ocean, the most southerly point you can ever go, and probably the furthest south I'll ever go. So that was pretty spectacular.
On the way, we met up with Patrick at Still Bay. He was there with his son. And he went into the water with one of his hollow wooden surfboards. It was when I was ankle deep in South African ocean water, stood on the shoreline, filming, I realised it was pretty good job. I was lucky to get that ticket. Yeah, it took a few attempts for Patrick to get some surf, but when he did, I was there with Steve. We managed to get a nice slow-mo with Patrick as he caught the wave and went along just before he fell into the sea. And I was happy we'd got that. I went and got our drone out from the car, set that up. At first I was a bit nervous about flying it over the ocean, but we got it out, initially quite high, just so that I might be able to rescue it if things went wrong. The battery went flat, so we couldn't tell which way it was facing, so that got the heart rate going a little bit more. But yeah, I managed to build up my confidence. We got a bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, and got some nice shots of Patrick catching the surf. Some nice shots coming in off the shoreline. It was good fun.
And it's quite neat for me. It's the first time I actually got to take some photos as well. It was quite neat because Craig's normally doing all the photography, but as well as doing the interviews, it was a chance to get my hand on the camera, which I quite enjoyed. Whether we ever used any of those shots, I'm not sure, but it was quite good fun. So from Still Bay, we went on to Knysna, which was the end point of our trip, but still quite a lot of work to do there. At Knysna, we got involved with the Timber Village, which is a tremendous place for the woodwork enthusiast, or the timber enthusiast in particular, and to see the carpentry and the skills on display there, which were pretty spectacular. And they had the Working with Wood Festival, so that was a show that we worked for 3 or 4 days, meeting members of the public, getting used to, again, talking to the South African public about the woodworking that they do, tool enthusiasts, wood enthusiasts. And we also did some interviews with some of the other guys doing the show.
There we filmed local woodworkers that produce indigenous style wooden furniture. I think it's Cape Dutch style. These guys are really, really cool. They're working with age-old techniques. Again, photographer's dream. I can point the camera pretty much anywhere with my eyes closed and there's something nice will be in shot. One of the afternoons of the show, we went down to Fechter's furniture factory. They manufacture fine furniture. We filmed a chap called Mornay, who was really nice, and he gave us a tour of the factory, and they actually do the whole manufacturing process from raw timber through the sawmill, producing all of the furniture through the factory, and a lot of what they do is custom-made furniture. And I got to film this table they were producing. It was 2 bits of wood, or 1 bit of wood cut down the middle with glass suspended on the top, and I felt privileged to see the people working on this table and then seeing it at the Working with Wood show afterwards. It's definitely making me want to do some woodwork. Just got loads and loads of shots, put together a nice video, filmed loads of characters there, local woodworkers. There's a chap who was Kenyan born, trained in America, now lives in Germany.
We also managed to film a guy called Mark Mengard, who makes really beautiful classical acoustic guitars with some really fine detailing in, and it's a particular taste and a particular style that Mark's developed there, which was really impressive to see. And he talks passionately about the wood and the timber that he works with. One of the other reasons for going to Knysna was that Knysna is a timber area, and the forests around there are absolutely spectacular. We wanted to go and see the forest where this timber comes from, and one of our terrific trips out really was to take our hire car, which we'd rented from Avis, and drive it up a forest track for several miles into the high woodlands to see a tree called the King Edward. I'm a complete tree fanatic and wood nut myself. To see this tree, which is a named tree, a huge yellow wood, probably 4 meters across at the base and incredibly tall, in the middle of the forest where it's grown for hundreds if not 1,000 years, was a real privilege and a real treat to go and see that sort of that tree growing live in the wild.
We've managed to get a load of really nice videos out of this trip, and I definitely want to go back again. All
in all, the trip was completely spectacular. It's hard work. We had back-to-back films, appointments, shows, a lot of driving, a lot of travelling about, some great hospitality. I have to say the South African team looked after us exceptionally well. A truly beautiful place along the Cape there, and somewhere I hope to go and visit again at some point in the future.
So we finished editing all of the videos. You can click the links at the end of this video to see them, or go to the Triton YouTube channel.
And we've written all the content and all the stories up on the Triton blog, so you can get further details there, and you can follow our further adventures on the Triton website.